I'm going to work at the White House. The store? 15 years after this conversation happened with my cousin, I still break out in uncontrollable laughter. She, like I, was in complete disbelief when I received news of my acceptance into the White House internship program, 9 months into the Obama presidency and just a few months shy of my 32nd birthday. Although I would have completely worn out the employee discount code at the White House black market clothing store, I was indeed referring to the mansion behind the iron gates that take up the 1600 block of Pennsylvania Avenue in Washington, D.C. What followed was 8 years of a journey I could never have planned or predicted, one full of joy and unexpectedness, one that encompassed almost my entire 30s and left me every day asking, often without answer, why me? One quick look at my life trajectory, and it was obvious I had no business being in anyone's White House. This book answers that question, a testimony of sorts, that weaves heavily through a well-fought and well-won battle with chronic imposter syndrome. A battle that started way before I stepped into politics. It was planted from childhood, through boarding school and multiple college attempts. Whether I am speaking at esteemed institutions, corporate boardrooms, academia, or community organizations, my message about the messy, oppressive, and often mishandled world of imposter syndrome ends with a triumphant victory dance that lies in the details of my story. But writing about it all is challenging, and it's important for me to briefly touch on the why for you, the listener. Let's start briefly at the beginning, shall we? Imposter syndrome is a term that was coined the same year as my birth, 1978. Isn't that a coincidence? It was the brainchild of two women psychologists and used to speak to this phenomenon of successful women who felt like frauds in professional spaces despite all they had achieved. Over time, the term has taken on a life of its own and become a brand that has put the ownership on women and others who are treated like their lives don't matter, making it seem like either they were being delusional or they had the power to change their inner feelings of doubt by analyzing, correcting, or controlling their own actions. This, in essence, is a sham, a scam, a genius move. It ignores the impact and hold that systems have on us by redefining behaviors of sexism, racism, classism, homophobia, ableism, etc., as imposter syndrome. It's truly a trickery of the mind that has transcended to people from all walks of life, especially those who have been historically oppressed and discounted in our society. Who says we aren't qualified? Who says we aren't as good as the next person, aren't deserving and worth all the promotions, accolades, and good things that happen to us? Like, really? Who? This was all such a mystery for me, and knowing this didn't immediately erase the deeply embedded conditioning. I used to be embarrassed that it took so long to come to the reality that I've been duped into believing it was always me and my problem to solve, when truthfully, I just had to cut the puppet strings. That's easier said than done. I get it. Listener, it does no good for me to write this book in the present voice and present body in which I have come out on the other side, because truthfully, that isn't where many of you are right now. In these chapters, I will meet you in the uncomfortableness of trying to figure it all out, while also taking you on a wild ride.